We're going to start in Vajrasana for our seated meditation, using the hands to pull the sit bones back and out to the side so that you really have a firm stance. Roll the shoulders back and close the eyes. Sitting tall, sitting straight, creating a good lift of the spine, allowing quietness to settle. The breath is smooth and soft. Correct any tilting that you might feel. And on the inhalation, see that you're lifting the front spine properly. And while exhaling, don't let the torso drop. And allow the brain to quieten and recede. The senses of perception moving in. The brain cells receding. Not looking to the past or the future, just being here, observing, witnessing this moment. Bending the elbows now, press the palms together in front of the chest. Feel that sense of inner ascendance and inner expansion spreading evenly from the left to the right. And feel the sternum underneath the thumbs broadening, expanding, that space between the lungs. And keeping the sternum lifted, gently drop the chin down towards the chest. And with an exhalation, allow the brain to slide down the neck, the throat, to take a new seat behind the sternum plate. And then gently releasing the hands and opening the eyes. So we're ready to start now. And we're going to start straight with standing poses. So finding Tadasana, facing the long edge of the mat. Make sure the inner feet are touching, that you're standing firmly on the four wheels of both of your feet. Roll the shoulders back and stretch the arms straight. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And then bending the knees, lifting the arms, inhale, and exhale, jump the feet and arms apart. Turning the left foot in and the right foot to the front, so I'm doing the mirror image of you. Inhale, stretch the arms, lift the chest. And exhale, reach to the right, drawing the root of the right femur bone into the hip as you extend and come down, placing the hand by the ankle and stretching the left arm to the sky. Draw the right buttock in, the shoulders back. Keep that strong resistance with the back leg, keep pushing into the outside edge of the back foot. Open the bottom ribs and elongate the bottom ribs, turn and twist. Make sure the roots of the thighs are both being sucked into the hips. See if it can be done more. Keep moving the tailbone forward, lift the chest. Refirm the roots of the thighs, right buttock in, spine in, head back. And then inhale up. And now turning to the other side, turning the right foot in and the left foot forward. Utthita Trikonasana. Prepare. Observe that the back leg is firm. Stretch the arms, inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, reach to the left. And as you reach, strongly draw the left femur bone into the hip socket. Then place the hand by the ankle and stretch the right arm to the sky. Utthita Trikonasana. Adjust the seat and the crown of the head so they're in line with each other. So move the tailbone forward, bring the torso back, turning, twisting. The left buttock bone in, the shoulders back. Make sure you still have that resistance with the back leg. Keep pushing into the outside edge of the back heel. Open the bottom ribs, elongate the bottom ribs. Check that the roots of the thighs still have that firmness. Can you create more firmness? Can you suck the roots of the thighs in? And then inhale up. And turning again to the right hand side, coming now to Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, lift the chest, stretch the arms, preparing. And with an exhalation, begin to make a square with the front leg. As you come down, lift the toes off the floor, so you're pressing firmly into the heels. Make sure the legs are wide enough. Move the inner knee to the outer knee. Keep the resistance of the back leg of the back arm. Once you've come down, check, is the back leg, can you still push into the outside edge of the foot, or have you lost that contact? Can you still stretch with the back arm? Lift the chest. Move the right pelvic to the left, away from the front leg, so the organs are rolling away from the front leg, back ribs in, strong resistance with the back body. Keep that resistance. And even as you're looking forward, the eyes open to the back of the skull. And then inhale, coming up. Turning now to the left-hand side, right foot turning in, left foot facing forward. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the chest. And with an exhalation, begin to make a square with the front leg. Make sure the legs are wide enough. As you come down, move the inner knee to the outer knee. Take the pressure off the toes, be in the foot, the heel. Keep the back body alert. Keep stretching with the back arm, pushing into the outside edge of the back foot. Try to come all the way down, creating a nice 90-degree angle with the front leg. The back frontal thigh should push back. The front inner knee is moving to the outer knee. Lift the chest. Move the left pelvis to the right, away from the front leg. Strong resistance with the back body. And as you look forward, the eyes are open to the back skull. And then inhaling back up. Turn the left foot in. Place the hands on the back hips. Roll the front shoulders back. Elbows coming close together. Lift the chest. Find that broadness. And now turning the feet again to the right-hand side, we're going to be coming to Padmasana. Make sure your right leg is completely rolled open so the kneecap faces forward. And now roll the right pelvis to the left, away from the front leg. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the chest. And exhale, begin to make a square with that front leg, moving the inner knee to the outer knee. Keeping the back body alert, the back leg strong, the back arms stretching. When you found Virabhadrasana 2, go ahead and reach forward to the right. As you reach forward, draw the right femur bone in, move the right buttock bone forward, place the fingertips on the floor, and stretch the left arm to the sky. Keep the right buttock coming in, the tailbone forward. Turn that top arm and extend the top arm diagonally over to the right. Find the indent of the right buttock and bring it in. Keep extending the arm, trying to bring it right behind the ear. The abdominal rotation continuing, the bottom abdomen to the top, the bottom lung to the top. Keep the back leg very firm, strong. Keep pushing into the outside edge of the back heel. But the head quiet, the brain quiet, the face soft. And then inhaling back up. Refirm the roots of the thighs, tailbone forward, chest lifted. And turning now to the other side, the left foot forward. Make sure the left thigh muscle is rolling all the way open to the left so that the kneecap faces completely forward. And move now your left pelvis to the right, away from the front leg. And then stretching the arms. Inhale, lift the chest. Keep the back body alert and firm, alive. And then exhale and begin to make a square with the front leg. Coming down slowly to feel every part of the movement, pushing the inner knee to the outer knee. Drawing the femur bone into the hip socket, moving the left buttock bone forward. And then reaching down and placing the left fingertips on the floor, the right arm up to the sky. With your bottom arm, push the inner knee to the outer knee again. Left buttock bone forward, tailbone forward. Keep that alertness in the back leg. Now turn the top arm and extend it diagonally over to the left. In this way, beginning to stretch the right flank. Find the indent of the left buttock and draw it in. Feel the tightness. Keep drawing that indent in, tailbone forward. Keep pushing to the outside edge of the back foot. Raising the chest, extending the arm more and more behind the ear. Keep continuing the abdominal rotation. Bottom abdomen to the top, bottom lung to the top. Re-stretch the arm, now quieten the entire face. Let the brain be soft. And then inhale back up. Draw the roots of the thighs firmly into the hips. And turning the left foot forward, re-stretch your arms, feel that ascendance of the chest. And then jump the feet together and find Tadasana. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Bring the head back, making the brain cells quiet. And now turning and facing the short edge of the mat, coming to Uttanasana. The feet are hip distance apart. Stretch the arms up. Bend your arms. Take hold of your elbows with your fingertips. Keep the roots of the thighs firm. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale and come forward to Hanging Uttanasana. Once you're down, look at your feet. Make sure they're completely parallel, facing completely forward. Then look at the arches of the feet, which tend to collapse, and lift the arches of the feet up. Lift the inner ankles up, and find a new way to press into the feet with the arches lifted. Then continue this ascendance up through the leg. So as you push down through the feet, this ascendance rises up, compacting the legs, drawing the inner knees up to the inner groins, wrapping the quadricep muscles around the thigh bones, and lifting the buttocks more and more to the sky. And now placing the hands on the floor and step back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Stretch the arms, stretch the legs, make the joints firm, spread the fingers widely, keep lifting, pushing the buttock bones to the sky, pushing the front thighs back firmly, broadening the backs of the knees, broadening the backs of the thighs, the head of the femur bones strongly into the socket. Press the chest open, press the back ribs in to press the chest open more and more. Keep the shoulders broad, the sides of the neck even. Keep pressing the shoulder blades, the dorsal spine in. And now bring the feet together And step the right leg forward until it's between your hands, finding a very long, wide Padmasana. Walking the fingertips forward. By stretching the arms, we bring stretchiness to the trunk. Keep the root of the right femur bone firmly into the right hip socket. Keep drawing the kneecap up, the quadricep muscles up, the femur bone over and over again, creating that awareness. Make sure the back leg is rolling in, and you find that resistance, that pushing back into the back heel. Keep walking the fingertips forward. See if you can find more length in the trunk. Shoulders broad. And now inhale, look up. And bend the back leg, coming through a lunge and placing the back knee, the back thigh on the floor. Turning and twisting to the right, kneeling Ekapada. Roll the shoulders back, preparing. Then bend the back leg and reach with your right hand for the ankle of the foot. And draw the foot towards you. Feel the front thigh beginning to open. Keep pressing the buttocks down as you bring the foot towards you. Keep rolling the shoulders back. And then exhale, releasing. Coming to that lunge position, feeling the firmness before stepping back and refinding Adho Mukha Svanasana. See if you can get more firmness, more straightness in the arms and the legs, more pushing of the front thighs back to broaden the back thighs, to lift the buttocks, and more openness in the chest. Press open, stretch the armpit chest open. And now bring the feet together and stepping the left leg all the way forward to be between the hands for a very long expression of Padmasana. When we have the feet this widely apart, we can really sense the femur bones coming into the hip sockets, walking those fingertips forward, having the length in the arms that brings length to the trunk, that decongests the trunk area. Keep firmly drawing the root of the left femur bone into the hip socket over and over again, making that connection, and rolling the back thigh in, and pushing the front of the back thigh back so that resistance is being pressed into the back leg. The weight of the body is moving into the back leg even as you're stretching forward with the arms. Now press the back ribs in, have that quietness in the face. And then inhale, look up. And go ahead and come down and place the back leg on the floor, moving it back a little bit, turn and twist to the left, kneeling Ekapada. Roll the front shoulders back, greet the groin, the hips, the thighs. And then bending the back leg and reaching with your left hand, begin to draw the foot towards you. And as you draw the foot towards you, press the buttocks down over and over again. Feel the length coming to the front thighs, the release of that bulkiness. Front shoulders back, chest lifted, face quiet. And then exhale, release, find a lunge position. For a few seconds, just feel that firmness, that connection. And then stepping back and refinding Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Spread the fingers even more widely apart. Shake the head out, the neck out. Make sure that you're not holding on to anything in the cervical spine. Re-stretch the arms, the legs. Make sure the eyes of the elbows are rolling forward so the arms are spiraling in such a way that the shoulders stay broad. And now from here, coming to Chaturanga 1. Keep the legs firm, the front shoulder girdle lifted. Now Chaturanga 2. Then back to Chaturanga 1. And from here straight to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Re-push the front of the thighs back. Squeeze the knees, lift the buttocks to the sky. Press the chest open over and over again. Feel that broadness, that openness coming. And now coming forward again. Coming to plank pose. Roll the eyes of the elbows forward. From here come to Chaturanga. Feel the firmness, lift the front shoulder girdle. Chaturanga 2 where you're coming onto the tops of the feet. And now to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Press firmly and evenly into both of the heels of the hands. Try to move the feet closer to the hands, so the pelvis area is coming closer and closer to the arms. Roll the front shoulders down. Press the tailbone, the buttocks down as you ascend upwards. Lift the chest, lift the side walls of the chest. And then exhale back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. With each downward dog, finding more and more openness of the chest, pressing the back ribs in. And then bending the knees, coming down onto your knees, sitting back on your heels, and bringing the arms to the side of the body, finding in this way Balasana. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Rest completely, relax completely. Quieten and re-soften the brain, the face, the tongue. Soften the abdomen, the roots of the thighs. And now bringing the hands behind the back, interlock the fingers together and lift the arms up to the sky. So opening the shoulder area, the shoulder girdle. Keep rolling the front shoulders back, looking for length and openness in the front shoulders. Stretching the arms, wrapping the tricep, the biceps around the bones. And now invert the hands, turning the palms open to the sky so you're pushing up through the heels of the hands. Keep rolling the front shoulders back so you don't close the neck area. And then exhale, release, rest the hands on the lower back. Relax completely into the ground before changing the interlock of the fingers and bringing the arms back up. Coming to the other side now. Keep the sides of the neck even, the face quiet as you lift the arms to the sky and bring them over, rolling the front shoulders back, wrapping the muscles around the arm bones, creating a compactness and a length that opens the chest. Then turn the palms open to the sky, inverting the hands, and continue to push up through the heels of the hands. See what comes, what sensations are being felt. Keep relaxing the face, the roots of the thighs. And then exhale, release the hands, and place the arms back down on the floor in Padmasana. And then slowly, gently coming up, rolling up, lower back, middle back, upper back, and refinding Vajrasana. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation, before moving on. Come onto your hands and knees and cross your left knee behind your right, widening the feet apart so there's a space for you to sit. Yoga Mudrasana in Gomukhasana 3, the wonderful sacroiliac hip opener. Once you have your comfort, go ahead and stretch the arms forward, keeping the arms stretched. Always when we come forward, often we think the arms aren't important, but by stretching the arms, you're going to feel the armpit skin stretching and then the sides of the waist stretching. And in this way, you bring that broadness, that separation from the diaphragm that gets congested to the hip area, the abdomen area. So keep walking the fingertips forward, broadening the shoulders away from the ears. And now coming up onto your hands and knees, uncrossing the legs to change sides, you'll now bring your right knee behind your left. Widen your feet apart and come and sit between your feet on the mat or on a blanket or on a block, whatever support you need, of course. And once you feel your stability, go ahead and unfold and extend the arms forward, coming to Yoga Mudrasana in Gomukhasana 3. Keep the fingertips alert, keep the arms stretched, the skin of the outer elbows squeezed into the elbows to make sure the joint is really straight. Roll the inner elbows up to the sky so the shoulders broaden away from the ears. Send the exhalations to the hips, to the groins, to release, to relax. And keep the face quiet, the jaw soft. Keep walking the fingertips forward, keeping that length to the trunk. And then inhale back up, uncrossing the legs, and exhale and release. Taking a block now, we're going to come to some twists. So we need a wall. So you want to be about this far away from the wall so that you're not jammed up against it, but you can still reach it. Then go ahead and sit on the block. We're using height for a twist for our Marichyasana 3 so that we can again decongest and bring space to the organs, to the trunk. Bending the right knee, extend the left leg out to the side. Now go ahead and turn and twist to the right towards your bent leg. Bringing the right fingertips onto the wall behind you, lifting the left arm up, and exhaling across, placing the left tricep on the outside edge of your right thigh. So both hands have a part in turning and twisting. Keep the heel of the left foot alert, the root of the thigh pressing down. Using the inhale to lengthen up the front chest, the exhale to spiral, to turn, to twist. Finding the rotation of the abdomen from our standing pose and increasing that rotation over and over again. Front shoulders back. And then exhale and releasing. Bring out your left knee towards you. Make sure the foot is facing forward and extend the right leg out to the side. Now turn and twist to your left. And then inhale the right arm up, and with an exhalation, reach across and place the right tricep against the outside edge of your left thigh. Keep the left heel alert. Keep pressing the root of the left thigh down. And from the pressing downness, ascend upwards with the inhalation, bringing more length to the front chest, the front spine. Continuing that abdominal rotation of the standing poses with increasing intensity, using the exhale to twist more, to turn more. And then exhale and release. Moving the block now, we're going to be coming to another twist called Padmasana. So your feet are together, you're in crouching pose. Make sure the inner feet, the inner knees are lined up. And now turning and twisting to the left first. So reaching around and placing your left fingertips on the wall. and bringing the right arm across, triceps pressing to the outside edge of the left thigh. Watch that the inner knees stay aligned with each other. They'll start to move as you twist. Keep them aligned, so from there you're going to keep the hips aligned. Keep rolling, keep turning, keep twisting, increasing the abdominal rotation. Lifting the sternum as you turn, as you twist. And then exhaling, releasing to change sides, turning and twisting to the right now. So reach with your right hand to the wall behind you. Then check that your inner knees are lined up and place the left tricep as far across as you can onto the outside edge of your right thigh. Begin to observe the breath, to neutralize, to normalize it, to soften it. And with the softness, find the abdominal rotation, turning from the left to the right, over and over again. The left eye is following the right eye. And then exhale and release. So now the spine, the body, everything is all warmed up. Let's just come now to a Padmasana. So placing the hands underneath the feet. Give a good pull, see what can be lengthened in the spine. Keep the roots of the thighs firm and alive, engaged. Keep lifting the arches of the feet. So you're pressing into the ring finger and the little finger much more than the index finger and the middle finger. Pressing the back ribs in. Pull yourself down, in, down, in. Even out the sides of the neck. See what openness has come after the standing, after the twists. And then exhale, release. Fingertips to the floor. Just staying here for a little bit, moving the shoulders again away from the ears and finding that length in the front spine. Observing all these sensations, all this alertness, before exhaling and releasing. Our next pose will be Shirshasana. So either fold your mat up several times or take a blanket so that the head is not in too much contact with a hard floor, has a little bit of comfort there. And let's get ready to start. So placing the elbows on the edges of your mat or your blanket, making sure that the elbows are not any wider than your shoulders. And then bring the forearms down, interlock the fingers, and press the tips of the thumbs together. Make sure the forearms are firm, broaden the shoulders, then place the crown of the head on the floor and hold the back skull with your hands. Keep pressing down into the forearms, lifting the shoulders, finding evenness in the neck, and then straightening the legs. Begin to walk the feet in. Keep lifting the shoulders. Slowly bringing the feet towards you, keeping the sides of the neck even. And then begin to lift the legs, and in this way, finding Shirshasana, headstand. As you lift, right at that top apex, it's very easy for us to stay where the buttocks are still protruding too much. So right when you think you're at the top, now start to move the buttocks forward, the tailbone forward, and to push the front thighs back. And in this way, you're going to move the strain out of the lumbar and start to open the middle and upper back and the chest. Keep pressing firmly the forearms down as if there were weights on both of your forearms. And from that pressing downness, create an ascendance that rises up through the body. Observe the breath, that it's smooth, that it's regular, that the throat is relaxed, the face is relaxed, and the tip of the nose is facing the sky. Keep the ingoing mind strong so that you're staying alert, you're observing, you're adjusting. Often the corrections are things that can't actually be seen from the outer body, but an inner sense guides you to just make these little tweaks that ripple throughout the pose and create more openness, more broadness. So observe for yourselves, how do you feel on the right side? How do you feel on the left side? Is there an area that has oversensitivity? Is there an area that you can't reach that's unsensitive? Keep watching yourself, going inwards, the senses of perception, providing the feeling, the feedback. Each pose has a taste, has a sound, has a smell. And allowing the senses of perception to move deeper and deeper inwards until this is revealed to you. Keep the body sharp, the ankles firm. Find the indentations of the hips, the outer hips, and squeeze them in towards each other. Have an evenness in the grip of the knees. Keep questioning the pose from inside. so that the questioning, the observation, the adjustment becomes a meditation in itself, a meditation in motion. Developing this inner sensitivity. Feel what the back of the body is doing, what the front of the body is doing, what the bottom, what the top, what the sides of the body are doing. Observe that focus expanding everywhere. And in the expansion and the richness of the experience, observe how there's a natural detachment, an unfolding of equanimity. So present yet detached at the same time. And now from Shirshasana we're going to come to Upavishta Konasana in Shirshasana. So rolling the thighs open, begin to slowly bring the legs down to the side, making a nice wide V. Keep rolling the thighs from the root of the thighs, not just from the knees or the middle thigh. Roll the root of the thigh open, the kneecaps facing down, the feet alert. Spread the toes, push out through the balls of the feet. Keep pressing down into the forearms, lifting the shoulders up, broadening them away from the ears. Pressing the back ribs in to open the chest. Stretch well the backs of the legs. Feel the femur bones connecting into the hip sockets. Observe what's happened to the face as it becomes tense. Re-relax the jaw, the tongue, the eyes. And now from here, bending the legs, coming to Baddha Konasana in Shirshasana. Pressing the soles of the feet together, the heels right above the perineum. Now often in Baddha Konasana we tend to get passive because we associate it with deep restoration. But there's an active part of Baddha Konasana. So by pressing the feet together, find now the outside edges of your femur bones and the indent of the outer hips, and suck the flesh, the muscle, and the indent of the hips in towards each other tightly so the back body becomes strong, and feel how the front groins will open more, the inner knees will move back more. Keep lifting the shoulders, creating space in the armpit chest. And now straighten the legs back up to Shirshasana. We're now going to do some Padmasana work in Shirshasana. If you can't do Padmasana, maybe you can do just half Padmasana. So bringing the right leg into Padmasana first, and either just crossing the left leg behind or bringing the left leg into Padmasana if you can. And once you've found the position that the body will allow today, begin to try to bring the kneecaps up to the sky and to press the buttocks forward, the thighs back. Keep moving the kneecaps towards the sky, pressing the buttocks forward, the tailbone forward, the front thighs back. The arms are steady. Keep that evenness between the left and the right side. Keep that sense of observation. Broaden the chest. Press the back ribs in. Feel the armpit chest alive. Lifting, aerating. Move the navel towards the spine more and more to help broaden the ribs so you don't create puffiness in the abdomen. And now in that Padmasana, bringing the legs down towards you, as far down towards the arms as you can. Keep pressing into the forearms and lifting the shoulders up away from the ears. Relax again your throat, your neck. Try to have an even, relaxed breath. Lowering the legs. And then pressing to lift back up. And undoing your Padmasana and refinding Shirshasana. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Centralize, neutralize. Find evenness again between the left, between the right. And now coming to Padmasana, or your version of Padmasana on the other side. So left leg into Padmasana and crossing the right leg, either into simple cross legs or bringing the right leg then over the left into full Padmasana. And now begin the work of trying to move the thighs back so the kneecaps more and more face the sky. And at the same time moving the middle buttocks forward, the tailbone forward. Bring the navel to the lumbar so you're not puffing the abdomen. And feel the ribcage start to broaden, the intercostal muscles stretching. Keep the forearms firm and even, the shoulders lifted, and press the back ribs in to open the chest more. And observe what's happened to the face, to the brain and all of this. And then slowly, beginning to descend with the legs, bringing the legs closer and closer towards the triceps, keeping that balance. Keep the cervical spine long, the sides of the neck even, and the ears being drawn in towards each other. Lifting the shoulders up. Relax the throat. And then with ease, pushing into the forearms and lifting the legs back up, unfolding, uncurling, and then releasing the legs and refinding Shirshasana. Centralize yourselves again. Relift, reascend. Replace the inner body. And keeping the legs straight, slowly exhaling down through Dandasana and Shirshasana, the roots of the thighs into the hips. Pressing the back ribs in, chest open, stretch the backs of the legs. Keep the feet alert, the inner knees touching, the inner feet touching as you descend all the way down. And come and rest in Yoga Mudrasana, Vajrasana. Stretching the arms forward, having the palms facing each other at first. In this way the shoulders can re-broaden away from the ears. Walk the hands forward, get more length so that you re-stretch the waist, the trunk, and even out the sides of the neck. Move the trapezius muscles down the back. Create that clearing. Soften the abdomen, soften the thighs. Soft, smooth breath, relax the throat, quieten the brain. And now still stretching the arms, just turn the palms down to the floor, but keep the shoulders broad. Spread the fingers. Press down into the palms to lift the forearms up, squeeze the elbows straight. And then coming up and coming to an Adho Mukha Svanasana, but starting with bent knees, placing the crown of the head on the floor, and then keeping the head on the floor as you begin to straighten the legs and walk the fingertips forward. The ultimate length, the ultimate chest opening. Press the chest open, squeeze the knees straight, lift the buttocks to the sky. And then exhale, walking forward. The feet are the distance, the width of the mat, Padahastasana. Place the hands underneath the feet and give yourselves a nice good pull. Refirm the kneecaps up, the quadricep muscles up, the roots of the thighs sucking into the hips. Pull yourself closer and closer to the legs. If the elbows bend, let them bend to the side so the trunk can stay broad. Then inhale, looking up, releasing the hands. Stretch again the front spine, shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, release. Moving now to Sarvangasana. So we'll be needing more blankets, some blocks, and a strap. So I'm using 4 blankets, all piled up on top of each other, nice and neat, so that I won't be disturbed once I'm in the pose. Then we're going to take 2 blocks for our Karnapidasana. So you want to have them right there so your head can lie between them. And then your strap, making sure that the loop in your strap is about the width of the inner shoulders. This is going to hold your arms together to help make the shoulder stand a shoulder stand rather than a neck stand. So really opening the shoulder action in the pose itself. Then go ahead and lying down on your blankets. The shoulders are right at the edge. The head should hang over. Take your hands to move your head so the back of the cervical is long, the sides of the neck are even. And roll the shoulders back. Then holding the strap in the right hand, having it handy, place the fingertips on the floor and begin to bend the knees and lift and roll backwards, bringing the feet to the floor. The legs can be bent right now, it doesn't matter. We just want to put the strap on the arms. So feeling with your hands the strap, finding the loop, and threading your arms through that loop, rolling the shoulders back as you do this so that the arms are placed from the roots of the arms opening. The strap is just above the elbows. Then interlock the fingers, stretch the arms, and re-roll your shoulders back. Move the trapezius muscles away from the ears, towards the hands. Once you feel that you have that openness in the shoulders, that you've really penetrated the shoulder area, you can then release your hands, bend your elbows, and place your hands on your back in preparation for Sarvangasana. And then begin to lift the legs and finding the full pose of Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. Similar to Shirshasana, right when we think we've reached Sarvangasana is the point where there's a little bit more to go. The buttocks have to move forward and the front thighs have to move back. This doesn't happen in one breath. It takes a few breath cycles to make the hips do that work and to let the quadricep muscles release their puffiness that they have inherently, because we tend to overuse them, and for them to flatten and move back. Keep trying to move the hands closer and closer to the floor, higher and higher up the back. As you do this, it's going to really help to support the pose from the base of the pose itself. If the hands are too high up the back, it's not possible to move the buttocks forward enough that the front thighs will move back. So keep moving the hands back, down the back towards the floor, rolling the shoulders back, and make the hands alert on the back so they press the back ribs in. Keep the throat soft, making a valley in the front throat. So the chin is not moving to the sternum, but the sternum is moving to the chin from the action of the hands on the upper back. In this way, seeing the body from all sides, from the back, from the front, from the left side, from the right side, from underneath, and through the soles of the feet up to the sky. Using the senses to create that inner landscape and making those mini adjustments that again are often unseen but make the world of difference internally to the pose, where we feel that freedom really starting to come rather than an endurance of something painful. So keep the ingoing mind strong, connected, feeling whether you favor the left side, the right side, where you might be collapsing, where you might be overstretching. Developing that witnessing quality, that ability to observe, to watch yourself, and using the senses of perception to provide the feel, the taste, the sound of the pose. Bring the feet hip distance apart now and roll the thighs strongly in towards each other, so the front groin of the thighs is moving to the back groin. Press the tailbone and the buttocks forward and stretch the legs up to the sky. And then when you felt that sensation, bring the feet back together and see the lift that you have, the further lift that you have by rolling the thighs in and moving the tailbone forward. Coming now to Eka Pada Sarvangasana. So keeping the left leg where it is, slowly, gently lowering the right leg behind you to the floor behind you. Keep the little toes moving towards the big toes, the kneecap facing the floor. Keep rolling the left thigh in. Both knees equally expressing their strength, both thighs equally expressing their grippingness, their suckingness, the indents of the hips squeezed in towards each other. And then bring the leg back up, refine Sarvangasana. Changing sides, keeping the right leg where it is, slowly lowering the left leg to the floor behind you, Ekapada Sarvangasana. The little toe moving towards the big toe. The extended right leg, keep rolling it in and pushing out through the ball of the foot. Keep pressing the back ribs in with your hands, opening the chest, stretching the legs, firming the knees, firming the thighs evenly and equally. And now bending the right knee, the extended leg, and bringing the leg down so that both feet are now in Halasana. Roll the shoulders back again so you have a strong sensation of shoulder opening action, interlocking the fingers, stretching the arms straight. Push the front thighs up to the sky, push the buttock bones up to the sky. Keep moving the trapezius muscles away from the ears, and from the armpits to the outer hips, try to find a way to make more length on both sides. Pushing down to lift up, press the arms down to lift up, press the feet down to lift up. Now check what's happened to the throat, to the neck. If you're over-pressing into the back of the head, re-lengthen the cervical, keep the front throat soft, the brain quiet. And now changing the interlock of your fingers, and then re-stretching the legs straight, rolling the shoulders back again. Keep rolling the front shoulder girdle back, the trapezius muscles away from the ears. Stretching the arms, lengthening, pressing them down in order to better lift the buttocks to the sky. From the armpits to the outer hips, making more length on the left side, on the right side. Don't let the legs drop down. Keep pushing the knees up to the sky, the thigh muscles up to the sky, broadening the backs of the knees, broadening the backs of the thighs. Draw the ears in towards each other to keep the brain quiet. And keep moving the sternum towards the chin. And now we'll be releasing, coming to Karnapidasana. So you're going to take the strap off your arms, which we're always happy about, And you're going to bend your knees and bring your knees to the blocks which are by the sides of your ears. Once you have that stability, go ahead and re-stretch the arms behind the back, interlock the fingers together, and roll the shoulders back, the left shoulder, the right shoulder. Draw the roots of the thighs into the hips, let them deepen into the hips. Relax the face completely. Have a soft, smooth, even breath that soothes the nervous system, that calms. And now changing the interlock of the fingers, re-rolling the shoulders back. See how much the thigh bones can penetrate softly into the hips. Keep stretching the arms away from you, making sure that you're clearing the neck energy, that you're softening the front throat. And now exhale, release the fingertips and bring the arms above the head and rest the forearms on the backs of the calves behind the knees for the final part of Padmasana. Being quiet within yourselves, quiet yet alert, observing, watching, resting in that awareness, that presence. And now we're going to come to Supta Konasana and Sarvangasana. So straightening the legs and widening the legs apart like an Upavishta Konasana. Reach with your arms to hold the toes in the palms of your hands. Charge the legs, stretch the legs well. Push the front thighs up to the sky. Keep pushing the buttock bones up to the sky. Moving the trapezius muscles away from the ears. The arms are stretched and straight, softening the face. Before bending the knees and releasing, we're going to be coming to Parshvahalasana now. So stretch the arms straight behind the back again, interlock the fingers, rolling the shoulders back, stretching the legs, refinding Halasana. And now from here, walking the feet to the right, as far to the right as you can. The inner feet are touching, the inner knees are touching. The arms are straight. Keep rolling the front shoulders back, stretching the arms away from you. See where the weight has moved now, and try to redistribute the weight evenly onto both of the shoulders. Make sure the sides of the neck are even, that you haven't crunched the head, the neck in any way. Keep pushing the front thighs up to the sky and pressing the back ribs in. Pushing the buttock bones up higher and higher. And now bending the knees and coming to Parshvakarnapidasana. Try to bring the knees right onto the side of the right ear, resting on the blanket, on the block. Rolling the shoulders back, and now refine that evenness. Feeling that beautiful stretch coming to the upper back area that's so hard to reach. Cervical spine still lengthening, front throat soft, so you're not putting pressure in the neck and the head. Turning and gently twisting. And now releasing, refinding Halasana with the feet right behind the head. You're going to change the interlock of the fingers, re-stretch your arms, re-roll the shoulders back, preparing for the left side. And now walking the feet to the left, Parshvahalasana on the left-hand side. Line the inner feet up, the inner knees up. Straighten the legs, broaden the backs of the thighs, push the front thighs to the sky, push the buttock bones to the sky. Keep rolling your shoulders back, stretching your arms as best as you can. And now watch what's happened to the weight distribution and try to even it out. Make sure it hasn't affected the neck, where you're resting on the back of the skull. And then bending the knees and coming from here to Parshvakarnapidasana. Slowly bringing the knees in, seeing what you can get. Bringing them to the blanket, to the block on the side of the left ear. Re-stretch your arms. Trapezius muscles away from the ears, always clearing that neck energy. Soften so that the twisting action can happen, releasing the upper back, the neck. Distributing the weight evenly and equally. Observing the openings without over-focusing on one area. Keep distributing the alertness, the watchingness everywhere in the body. And And then release, bringing the legs back to Halasana. Release the hands. Just hold Halasana there. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Centralize, neutralize. And then placing the fingertips on the floor for support. Gently unrolling out of Sarvangasana. Back onto the floor. Knees bent, feet on the floor. And immediately just move yourself backwards. You'll have to move the blocks out of the way until your shoulders come onto the mat. And the hips and the buttocks are now on the blankets. The arms are out to the side, the knees are bent. Move the sacrum towards the heels, re-lengthen the lumbar. Let the abdomen rest on the spine. Feel the ribcage broaden so that you're in a natural supported Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. Rolling the front shoulders back. Re-relax the face, re-quieten the brain. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Observing the sensations, the richness of the openness, the inner body still expanding, still placing itself, the outer body slowly surrendering to this inner expansion. And now we're going to move even further over our blankets, so move the blocks out of the way and move back. It's a little bit awkward on the mat because it's sticky, so you have to go left side, right side until your hips and buttocks are on the floor. And then re-stretch the arms out to the side and bend the knees, lift the feet off the floor, the inner knees are touching, straighten the legs, charge the legs. Now move the hips to the left, coming to a twist, bringing the legs down to the right, Jatara Parivartanasana. So your right hand will hold the outside edge of the bottom foot, the feet are stacked on top of each other, and you're turning and twisting to the left, stretching down the length of that left arm. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Roll the right abdomen to the left. Roll the right lung to the left. Keep the arms active. Keep pressing to the backs of the hands. Press the back ribs in to open the chest. The legs are alert. The feet are alert. The face is soft. And now bringing the legs back up. Centralizing. Rolling the shoulders back. Stretching the arms again. Move the hips now to the right and bring the legs down to the left. Jatara Parivartanasana on the left-hand side. And then turn and twist and look down the length of your right arm. Press the back of the right hand firmly into the floor so that the upper back is engaged. Press the back ribs in, open the chest. Roll the left abdomen to the right. Roll the left lung to the right. Keep the legs well stretched and the face quiet. Keep pushing through the balls of the feet, spreading the toes so that the legs stay alert, turning, twisting, rolling, releasing. And then bring the legs back up. Line up the inner feet, the inner knees, have that alertness. And then bending the knees. Stretch the arms above the head, crossing the thumbs together for traction. We're going to be coming to some core work, Urdhva Prasadita Padasana. So go ahead and re-straighten the legs again, straight up to the sky with the arms stretched above the head. Keep the lower back pressing to the floor. Make the roots of the thighs firm, the shin bones firm, the ankles sharp. Feel the stretch of the waist through the stretch of the arms, but move the trapezius muscles down the back. Now bend your knees, re-stretch your arms, keep the lower back pressing to the floor, and now extend your legs diagonally away from you to 60 degrees. Keep that firmness in the legs, push up through the balls of the feet, keep the lower back pressing to the floor. And now bending the knees, and this time pushing the legs to 30 degrees, so lower down. Keep pushing through the balls of the feet and keep the lower back pressing against the floor, the arms stretched. And then bend the knees back in. Re-stretch your arms. And place the feet on the floor. And then release the hands and extend the arms out to the side of the body. And then rolling over to the right-hand side and coming up to sitting. We'll be coming to our forward bends now, so moving equipment out of the way. If you're very flexible, keep a block on the side. In this way we can further the elongation for you, so that you still feel that your edges are being challenged. And then, having put everything to the side, come and take a seat on your mat with the legs straight out in front of you for our first pose, which will be Paschimottanasana, forward bend. The legs are straight, the inner feet, the inner knees are lined, pulling the buttock bones back and out to the side. If you're very flexible, take that block and put it against the soles of your feet. Then bring the fingertips to the floor behind you and find Dandasana. Roll the front shoulders back. Feel the chest lift. And then exhale and come forward to Paschimottanasana. Reaching with your hands for the feet or for the block if your arms can extend further. Open the side ribs and the side chest. Find a way to bring freedom to the chest in spite of the different shape of the pose that forces you down. Keep the backs of the legs stretched and the roots of the thighs still coming into the hip sockets. The shoulders are broad, the sides of the neck are even. Pressing the back ribs in to open the chest. Keep opening the side ribs, opening the side chest. And then inhale, looking up, and exhaling and releasing. Coming now to Kranchasana. So fold your left leg into Virasana. Bend your right leg, preparing. Interlocking your fingers, place your hands around the sole of the right foot and begin to stretch the right leg to the sky. At first you'll feel that the foot is pulling you, so pull with the arms so that the arms are now pulling the foot, and as you lift the leg, lift the chest higher. Keep trying to press the back ribs in, bringing the leg closer and closer. See how close the sternum can get to the thigh, the forehead to the shin. Keep the root of the right thigh firmly connected to the hip bone, lift the leg, lift the chest. And then exhale, release, relift the chest, regaining that freedom. And then bending the knee, exhale and release the foot back to the floor. Changing sides, Kranchasana, so bending the right leg into Virasana, clearing the calf muscle to make space for the knee, and then bending the left leg, interlocking the fingers and placing the hands behind the sole of the foot. Begin to lift the leg, lift the chest, and observe the difference of the leg pulling you or the arms pulling the leg. Use the hands to pull the leg, to pound the femur bone into the hip socket, broadening the back of the knee, broadening the back of the thigh. Bring the leg closer and closer. Keep trying to lift the chest, even in this compression, looking for that freedom. Bringing the leg as close as you can now. Keep the foot alert, keep pulling with the hands to pull the femur bone into the hip socket. And then exhale, release, relift the chest, regain the freedom. And then bend the leg and place the foot back on the floor. Our next pose will be Parivrita Janushirshasana. So stretching the left leg in front of you, undo the right leg from Virasana and place it in a Janushirshasana, the heel close to the perineum, the knee bent. Move the block out of the way if you had a block by your foot. And then turn and twist to the right, finding a Baddhavajasana action. So we're going to prepare the organs, find that rotation in the organs, the skin, the muscles. Keep turning the left abdomen to the right. The left palm is pressing against the outside edge of the right thigh. Now place the right hand on the right hip, press it down, and stretch the left arm along the inside of the left leg, inverting the hand to hold the inside edge of the foot. Keep the right hand pressing the right hip down as you lower the left waist closer and closer to the left thigh, and then stretch the right arm up and across and take hold of the outside edge of the foot. Keep rolling the left abdomen to the right, finding that twisting action, pressing the back ribs in, opening the chest. The elbows pressing down on the floor and pressing against the inner knee to help you to turn, to twist. Keep stretching the left waist, stretching the right waist. And then inhaling back up, refind Baddhavajasana action, the left abdomen rolling to the right, the front shoulders back, before releasing to change sides. So Parivrita Janushirshasana now on the other side. The right leg is extended, the left leg is in Janushirshasana. Turning and twisting first to your left. The right palm is pressing against the left thigh. Keep turning, keep twisting, finding that abdominal rotation. This time the abdomen is moving from the right to the left. Front shoulders back and chest lifted. Freedom in the sternum. Brain quiet and soft. And now go ahead and place the left hand on the left hip, pulling it down, weighting it down. And then exhale, reach with your right arm along the inside edge of that right leg. Invert the hand, take hold of the inner foot. Keep turning, twisting, rolling, turning, twisting, elbow back, left shoulder back, rotating, right abdomen to the left, pressing the back ribs in, opening the chest, and then stretching the left arm and reaching for the outside edge of that foot. Tuck the head right in. Keep turning, keep twisting, the elbow down, the trunk turning, the right waist coming closer and closer to the right thigh, Keep bringing the right waist closer and closer to the right thigh, stretching the right waist, stretching the left waist. Keep the face quiet. Keep the left hip heavy so the left leg isn't pulling up into the twist. It's weighting down, it's grounding you down. And then coming back up, we find Baddha-Vajrasan. Roll the organs, roll the lungs, shoulders back, relift the chest, broaden equally from left to the right. Before releasing and releasing the legs. So Baddha Konasana, bending both of your knees, bringing the heels as close as you can to the groin. Exhaling and coming forward to Yoga Mudrasana. As you walk the fingertips forward, suck the skin of the outer elbows into the elbows and roll your inner elbows up to the sky. Feel in this action the shoulders broadening away from the ears. Send each exhalation into the hips, into the groins to release, to relax. Keep stretching the arms and feel the trunk, the side waist stretching evenly, gaining more length. Feel the broadness of the back, the evenness of the neck. And then inhaling, looking up, and slowly, gently releasing. So another Baddha Konasana, just to increase a little bit the opening of the groin. So placing the blocks between your feet. You may not be able to come in as close, obviously. And then seeing what Yoga Mudrasana brings with the block between the feet. Keep the arms even, straight, the shoulders broad, the trapezius muscles moving down away from the ears. Keep using the exhalation to release, to relax, to deepen the opening of the groin, to widen the pubic bone. Relax the abdomen, keep the breath smooth, normal, even. A breath that allows the body to trust. Walk the fingertips a little bit more forward, just a little bit more. And then exhaling and releasing and undoing the legs. So still using that block now, we're going to use the block to give some sensation to the shoulder blades. So placing it on the mat like this. Coming to Padmasana with the right leg first and then the left leg on top. And if Padmasana is not available to you, just do the right leg in Padmasana or just cross the ankles in Sukhasana. So lying back in such a way that the block is going to end up underneath your shoulder blades. So you might need to adjust, moving forward or backwards a little bit. And then stretching the arms straight behind you, the palms facing each other. And with this action, stretch the waist, move the trapezius muscles down the back. Now cross your thumbs and feel more traction coming to the arms. With the trapezius muscles firmly moving down the back and the traction of the crossed thumbs, stretch the arms, make the elbows completely straight, stretch the fingertips. Now allow the block to press the shoulder blades into the upper back. Really go with the flow of the block, pressing the shoulder blades up, opening the chest. Keep the buttocks firmly on the floor, the roots of the thighs pressing down away from you. Feeling that delicious stretch coming to the abdominal area. Drawing the pubic bone up to the sternum. Broadening the front ribs, the left front ribs, the right front ribs. Feeling the diaphragm stretch, the intercostal muscles stretch. And then release the arms. Take hold of the edges of the mat or use the hands on the floor to gently push yourself up. And then exhale and release the legs out of Padmasana or Sukhasana. So we're going to turn the block up now, so one height up for our Padmasana on the other side. So bringing the left leg into Padmasana and then the right leg, taking what you can. And then as you lie down, rolling the shoulders back and finding the imprint of the block on the shoulder blades. Often people put the block a little bit too high and then the neck becomes uncomfortable. So make sure that it's right on the middle bottom part of the shoulder blades. Stretching the arms back, we find that length. Move the trapezius muscles down the back. And then having found that, cross the thumbs and create the traction in the arms for the ultimate stretch. Stretch the arms completely, squeeze the elbows straight, stretch through the fingertips. Go with the flow of the block, pressing the shoulder blades into the upper back to open the chest, to broaden the chest. Press the roots of the thighs down into the ground. Move the tailbone forward, the anus forward to face the mat in front of you, and then draw the pubic bone up to the sternum and feel the abdominal lengthening, the stretching of the front waist, the stretching of the front spine. Keep broadening the front rib cages, broadening the intercostal muscles. And then exhale, release the hands, and slowly making your way back up and exhaling and releasing the legs completely. So taking the block and now putting it at its highest point. So taking the block now and placing it at its highest point. We're going to repeat this Padmasana work with the legs stretched straight out in front of us. Line the inner knees, the inner feet up, and then begin to lie back, rolling the shoulders back and adjusting so that the block is penetrating right in that sweet spot, pushing the shoulder blades forward. You really have to curl yourself back over it and roll the shoulders back so that the block finds the right spot. And then stretch the arms back. Find that length in the waist, that length in the abdomen, that broadness in the trunk. And now bend your elbows and hold on to your upper arms with your hands. The back of the skull is resting on the forearms and it brings weight so that the elbow tips are being pushed to the floor. And with this action, you push the shoulder blades up to the sky. Feel the broadness of the chest, the armpit chest stretching. Keep the face soft, the legs alert, the heels pressing down and the roots of the thighs pressing down. Move the tailbone forward to the pubic bone and bring the pubic bone up to the sternum. And now re-stretch the arms back and then change the cross of the arms and settle back into this side. Allow the head to be heavy on the forearms. In this way, helping to press the elbow tips down to the floor and simultaneously helping to press the block into the dorsal spine, opening the chest to the sky, fountaining the chest open. Use the exhalation to move the trapezius muscles down the back, quietening the face. Press the dorsal spine up to the chest, stretch the side waists, and then stretch the arms back behind you. We find that length in the abdominal cavity before slowly, gently placing the hands on the floor and coming back up to sitting. So the upper back is really beautifully prepared now. We're going to come to some back bends, placing the block between the knees so that we'll be forced to keep our legs parallel and our inner knees alert. Lying back on the floor, preparing for back bends. First of all, just stabilize, just neutralize. Roll the shoulders back. Feel yourself on the left, on the right. Place yourself with the breath, with awareness. And then bring the hands to back bend hands, placing the fingertips underneath the shoulders, not too close to the ears. It's a mistake to come too close. It narrows the shoulders. And then bring the feet in, squeezing the block with the inner knees. Press into the hands. Lift the buttocks to the sky. Keep pressing into the feet, lifting the toes up so you're really pressing into the heels. And then with an exhalation, lift to your first back bend. The heels are lifted. And when the heels are lifted, the buttocks can press up more. Keep pressing the buttocks, pressing the pubic bone up to the sky, pressing the dorsal spine in, the back ribs in, opening the chest, stretching the arms. And now see if you can bring the heels down, but keep the buttocks lifted. Try to find more and more curvature in the upper back, broadening the chest, stretching the armpits, stretching the arms. And then exhale, come down to the crown of the head. Move the hands a little bit closer towards you, so the back bend will be increased. Stabilize the elbows, and then with an exhalation, re-lift to Urdhva Dhanurasana. Keep pressing the back ribs in, and every part that says to come down, ascend against it. Keep ascending up, push down to ascend up. Broaden, broaden, lift, stretch the abdominal cavity, stretch the front spine. And then exhale and release all the way down to the floor. Release the hands, stretch the arms out to the side. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And now remove the block from between the legs. Breathe, relax, preparing for the next batch of back bends. Make sure the lower back is completely resting on the floor, both the left lower back and the right lower back. And now preparing for our next back bend. So placing the hands in position, the fingertips underneath the shoulders. Try to parallelize your elbows. Parallelize your feet, your knees. Begin to push and lift the buttocks. Lengthening the lumbar, moving the sacrum towards the knees. Lifting the buttocks more higher, pressing into the heels. Feeling the backs of the thighs charging to help you to lift, to push up. Then pushing into the heels of the hands, begin to activate the upper back. Keep the sides of the neck even. And then with an exhalation, push and lift to Urdhva Dhanurasana. Keep lifting the buttocks to the sky, trying to push the pubic bone higher and higher. Press the back ribs in, open the chest. Press evenly into the heels of the hands. Find a sense of ascendance. And now come down into the crown of the head. We're going to be coming to Vipariti Dandasana. Interlock the fingers behind the back of the head like a Shirshasana. Elbows forward. And now see if you can press into the forearms and lift the crown of the head off the floor. Press the shoulder blades in. Press the back ribs in. Push into the feet to move the knees closer to the head, to open the chest. Penetrating, stretching. And then releasing, placing the hands back in Urdhva Dhanurasana. Lift up one more time. Stretch the arms. Lift the pubic bone. Open the chest. Stretch the waist. Stretch the front spine. And then exhale and release. Back down to the ground. Arms out to the side of the body. Keep the legs parallel. Let the lumbar be supported by the ground. Let the abdomen be soft. Relax the breathing. Create smoothness, create evenness. And from here, coming to Savasana. So stretching the legs out so that the heels are in line with the corners of the mat. And then tucking the buttocks so the flesh of the buttocks is really moving towards the heels. Rolling the shoulders back and extending the arms out to the side of the body. Closing softly the eyes. A normal soft inhalation. A long, soft exhalation, flowing into the earth with gravity. See that with each exhalation, the body begins to recede. The trunk gets quietened. The abdomen gets quietened. Soft breath, smooth breath. Normal soft inhalation, long soft exhalation. The pupils of the eyes soft. Let them become pacified and let them rest backwards. Soft, quiet breath, smooth breath. Everything receding backwards. Melting more and more into the ground, more and more into the earth. Let the ribs release their grip on the lungs completely. Let the hips be heavy, the groins relaxed, the abdomen soft. With an exhalation, release the quadricep muscles from the thigh bones. And let the legs roll completely open in their softness, in their heaviness. The inner knee to the outer knee, the inner ankle to the outer ankle, the big toe moving towards the little toes. Normal soft inhalation, long soft exhalation without irritating the throat. Everything receding, everything becoming soft, quiet. Feeling the inner cellular body itself becoming absolutely soft. Completely letting go, passive, inert. Resting in that detached state of awareness. Resting in that detachment, resting in that peacefulness. Resting as that awareness. Keep softening all of the little muscles around the eyes, trickling into the cheeks, softening the cheeks, the temples. Relaxing the hidden cavities, the sinuses, the inner ears, the glottis of the throat, the root of the tongue. Observing the furthering process of dissolving, letting loose, letting go, so that everything is reduced to this state of dissolvingness, as if nothing is existing over there. Resting completely in this. observing the quietness, the flow of this peaceful energy everywhere. A diffused awareness that sees, that feels, that tastes, that touches everything at the same time. Resting completely in that. Immersing yourself in this dissolvingness. And then slowly, softly, gently, just begin to wiggle the fingers. Slowly coming out of Savasana. Bringing the hands now to the front trunk. Rising gently upwards from the depths. And then rolling over to the right hand side of the body. Coming out step by step, stage by stage. With smoothness, with quietness. And then slowly, gently using the hands to push yourself back up to sitting and coming back to your days. Namaste. It's been a pleasure to work with you, to practice with you, and I hope we practice again together soon.